All right, welcome everyone. So let's take a look at this one last problem here. So we have some information here, and again, I'll go ahead and mark what things we have. So while I mark these things here, you can go ahead and think about what's happening. We know that AC is congruent to AD and BC is congruent to BD here. We want to show CE is congruent to DE. Okay. So it makes sense here, right? What's going on here? We can try to figure out what's happening in this case. So, considering everything we've been looking at previously here, it's pretty clear that we're going to look for congruent triangles. So, since CE and DE here happen to be parts of two pairs of congruent triangles here, you can actually make your choice as to what pair you want. However, in this situation here, we know, wait a minute. So in this case, it really doesn't matter which one you pick. It seems like in this situation here, triangle CAE should be congruent to triangle DAE here, right? That's going to be what we want. All right, that seems fair. So let's go ahead and figure what's going on here. It's pretty clear that we have CA is congruent to DA, right? That's a side. And that's given, right? And then we also have the fact that A is congruent to itself. That seems really fair as well. That's a pair of sides, and that's reflexive yet again. However, now this is where we get kind of stuck, because we're out of stuff to do. Right? There doesn't seem to be any new information here. I can't use CE and DE. I can't use side, side, side here because CE and DE is my goal. So trying to prove my goal using my goal doesn't make any sense here. That's circular logic. Furthermore, there's that BC and BD there that's out there that just seems like, who ordered that? Why is that there? So here we end up, ladies and gentlemen, at a bit of a crossroads. We have a bit of a dilemma here. We're stuck. There's information that we need, but we don't have. So when they're stuck, and then, and this is a perfectly valid thing. This happens a lot to problem solvers. Oftentimes you'll get stuck and you won't know what to do. So if you are stuck and you don't know what to do, what can we do here? Oh, hey, wait a minute. What's this over here? Perhaps one thing we can do is to return two cards at random from our graveyard to our hand. Now wait a minute. Of course that doesn't make any sense. What I really want to focus on here, ladies and gentlemen, is this top part. Make a wish. Now, that may sound absolutely absurd, but you'd be surprised how useful this is how useful this idea is. There's a lot, when I say make a wish, I don't mean this in a fanciful way. I mean this as, what do I wish I knew in order to finish this problem? And then from there, what we're going to do is we're going to try to become our own fairy godparents and grant said wish here, okay? So, let's see how this works in action. So, note that in this situation here, we don't have CE or DE. I don't have that. So I wish, what do we need? Well, let's see here. If we had a pair of angles, we can use side angle side to finish this. I wish I had this. So in this case here, I wish I had angle CAE is congruent to angle DAE here, right? That's a pair of angles. Now, I have no idea why that's true, but I know that if I had that, that'd be great. So now the question is, how do I get this to show up? So we can get this to show up here. Well, wait a minute. Now, if we look at CAE and DAE here, they're corresponding parts of bigger triangles. In particular, they're corresponding parts of CAB and DAB here. So it would seem that we can actually grant this from another pair of triangles. I can show that CAB and DAB here are congruent. And if I know that, I can use corresponding parts, and I can sort of insert this in here and finish the proof that way, right? So if I knew this, that's awesome. So now let's go ahead and do that here. Again, we have CA is congruent to DA here. That's a given here. We have, in this case, now it makes perfect sense why BC and BD are given to us, right? Because that is going to give us what we need to get the triangles congruent. And now we can use the big triangles here, right? So we can just sort of outline these big triangles like so. This triangle here and this triangle here, we can see that now we can use AB is congruent to itself. And there's our reflexive property. And then now we can conclude that these are two triangles are congruent by side, 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 right? So we have side, side, side here. We can now insert that in there. So that tells us now we can actually finish this off. Now we have CAE is congruent to DAE here. This happens to be congruent. This happens to be true by side angle side here. And then finally, now we can get to this. Now we can get to our final goal, that CE is congruent to DE here. These are corresponding parts. Okay? So note the idea behind this here. You're going to be seeing that in this situation, we actually have two triangle congruence proofs in one. We have to deal with two things at once here. In order to get to your main goal, you kind of have to do a side goal first, and that's perfectly okay. You'll note that oftentimes your side goal, your side thing here, this is usually a very easy proof here. Usually you have enough information and you can very easily prove something to be true. In this case, CAB and DAB. The reason it's easy is because you need those pairs of triangles in order to get corresponding parts of those triangles and then use those to get to the piece that you need in order to finish the problem here. So this is going to be a common theme you're going to see here. You're going to see that in this situation you have a relatively easy thing to start off with. Once you get that done, that's going to give you the necessary piece, the last piece of the puzzle that you need to finish this and then get to your goal. Okay? So when you're dealing with these sorts of problems here, a lot of times it's a good idea to just take a look and see what pairs of triangles you can get and how you can use them here. So don't be alarmed if you can't figure out the situation right away. It's just a matter of putting these things together and seeing what you can make of them here, okay? So just be patient and just lay everything out.